it's approaching. The supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it?
What's good? So I wanted to switch things up a little bit. Instead of the typical showcases, I wanted to go back in on the Extreme Agility team against the Super Strength setup on the Super Battle Road. Now this is strictly with Movie Boss category units within the Extreme Agility type. I've used this in the past, but I haven't really tested it yet with the not including any items. So this is one of those things I've been wanting to test out for quite some time, but let's go ahead and get started and see how this team does overall. Now, I did make some improvements over time, like the Final Form Cooler unit. I did invest the potential orbs, and he's actually pretty solid now. A lot of the units are at 100% potential as well. I think very few are not. The one that comes to mind is Agility Meta Cooler unit. He's still without any dupes, so it's pretty much essentially the free paths unlocked, and that's pretty much the extent of it. But even with that setup, he is able to hit for a pretty decent amount, and also has the ability to transform as well. So, a very useful unit within the Super Battle Road setting, and you'll see that throughout the video. Now, again, the Golden Frieza unit is still to this day one of the best tanks in the game. So he definitely does come in clutch in terms of minimizing damage. I mean, you can see right there, he takes very little in damage. I did give him a few levels toward evasion. I think it was like level 8 or something like that. Just in case, the HP levels fall below 50%. I'd rather have some levels toward dodge in that scenario. So that's pretty much the setup with that. Overall, most of the guys do have pretty good defense. And yeah, I mean, it's probably one of my favorite, not only just categories, but also type-specific category teams. This one is probably one of my best within the deck that I have right now. So again, very, very useful unit. Turles obviously is a great unit for this type of setting, 40% increase to attack, as well as the key boost. So helps out tremendously for the rest of the team. Again, the Final Form Cooler unit that you do get from the World Tournament banner also does provide a substantial increase to the rest of the team in terms of stats. You're looking at 40% to attack and defense. That is a pretty phenomenal number overall, so it definitely does help out the rest of the team. And he actually has the ability to hit for a pretty decent amount. He's got the ability for additional attacks, and I did give him level 11 additionals and level 15 criticals. The Great Ape Turles is at 100% as well. I gave him 14 for additionals and 12 for crits, and then for the Golden Frieza, it's a little bit all over the place. I think it was like, I can't even remember, it was evened out, 8, 9, 8 or something like that. I can't remember exactly what they were, but initially I thought about going with the 11-15 format, but just to compensate for when HP levels fall below 50%, I did want to give him levels toward dodge, because he won't be able to tank for the 90% reduction if HP falls below 50%. Again, the Meta Cooler unit, no dupes. However, I do want to put him in harm's way because his attack will increase based on the attacks received from the enemy. So obviously, if you can afford it, you definitely do want to put him in situations where he is going to get attacked. This is a pretty bad rotation here. Couldn't get a super attack with any of the units, but hopefully additional attacks kick in with the Turles and Bojack unit. Bojack's actually pretty solid too. He gets a 90% increase to attack as part of his passive skill. So, you can see 1.1 million potential-wise, and links up pretty well with the rest of the team. Probably pairs up the best with Turles, just because of the Turles or Cooler, I would say, because of not only the passive support, but also link skills like Thirst for Conquest. Definitely helps out. Now, thinking about it, Bojack probably links up best with the Cooler unit, because they also do share the Shattering the Limit link skill that adds key boost as well. So again, Great Ape Turles does hit for a pretty decent amount once transformed as well. Now that the potential levels apply even with the transformation status, that helps out tremendously as well. So yeah, we're running through it relatively easy. HP really isn't that much of an issue. The other good thing about the Turles unit is once he does transform, he does have the ability to recover 15% HP after the, at the start of the turn after the transformation. So that tends to make things quite easy in terms of maintaining high HP levels. So that definitely does help Golden Frieza maintain the ability to tank 90% of the damage received. So overall this team works pretty well together. Like they're almost like harmonious in a way. Like they work out very well together. They complement each other quite well. So it's a very solid team. I've been using this team on the against the Super Strength Super Battle Road setting for quite some time. Initially, when I first cleared it, this is the format I cleared it with because I didn't have the the Super 17 unit. That's traditionally been the 120% lead for the Extreme Agility type, so I didn't have that unit, so had to create some sort of way to bypass the type lead, and the Turles unit definitely fit the bill. Actually bigger boost, but also there's enough units that fall into Extreme Agility within the category, so very solid unit, very good category, very good strategy to go into this. Again, I've done it several times. I just wanted to test it out if I could run through this without using any items. So I did go in the battle without assigning any items. So if it's game over, it's game over. So we'll see how far we get into it. So as you can see, the Meta Cooler unit is looking at about 324,000 potential-wise, and that's without any dupes. That'll probably fluctuate up to about 1.8 million once the super attack activates. Yeah, 1.73 million looks like. So I keep imagining this guy with at least two dupe paths unlocked. He's gonna be very phenomenal unit. So we'll see what the deal is with that, but it's he hasn't been available in banners yet since he was initially released. So I'll have to wait for another one to come out where I can potentially chase some additional dupes and go from there. So definitely do want to put Turles after his transformation where most of the attacks are coming, because he does get a lot of great defensive abilities. I think it's like 120% increase to defense. He does lose out on the passive skill where it's supporting the rest of the team, but with the transformation he does he makes himself a hell of a standalone unit. You're talking about 15% recovery HP, 120% increase to both attack and defense, and then reduces the super type enemy's defense by 80%. So he's a hell of a unit after the transformation. So he's still solid and very helpful in this scenario. Alright, so a lot of the attacks are coming again at the initial slot, so of course you want to put Golden Frieza on there. Even though I would have liked to put the Meta Cooler unit just to raise his attack levels early on. At this point, without any items, you are running the risk of being supered. He'll probably get supered for about 100,000 maybe roughly, depending on the enemy, but it definitely does add up quite a bit. Without the HP recovery items, that's definitely a gambit to take. We'll see how much damage he takes here. Bojack unit, 107,000. So you get hit a couple times, plus some normal attacks for 10 to 20,000. That could easily deplete the HP quite a bit. So again, the HP recovery from Turles definitely helps, and we're gonna put him where all the attacks are coming because he can definitely defend the best out of the bunch here. The other great thing about the Great Ape Turles unit is it only requires a key meter of 9 to guarantee a super attack, so you can conserve the the rest of the available key for the other units. Like the Cooler unit definitely needed a couple to get the super attack, so it definitely makes things a little bit easier in that regard. Turles does have that high chance of stunning the enemy after the transformation, so again, I keep mentioning the good things about that unit. So yeah, he's very good in this setting. The Great Ape Turles has a medium chance to stun, so he's still also very helpful in that regard too. So overall, each unit has their own set of abilities and like functions within the team that pretty much help the rest of the team. So it all works out very well together, and it's honestly one of the best type-specific teams that I currently have in my deck. So I run this quite a bit occasionally when I do have certain teams I want to run against certain types, and definitely fits the bill. I hate the fact that I have to waste a Dokkan mode on just one enemy, but HP is starting to go down a little bit. Definitely do want to recover for the time being, so I don't mind doing that. Obviously Golden Frieza is a better tank out of the bunch, but definitely wanted Turles to get the Dokkan mode because he's got much better output in terms of attack stats and damage capacity. So certainly a better option there. We'll see if Cooler ends up having to need a transformation in order to conserve HP and survive. We'll see what happens later down the road. Alright, pretty much straight shot here. We should be able to finish off the Trunks unit. He is stunned as well, so you don't have to worry about any attacks incoming, so pretty much a done deal at this point. Alright, so yeah, pretty much 1.4 million without the crit. Definitely hits for a decent amount. And we'll move on to the last battle against the family Kamehameha units. So this could potentially be a little bit tricky, but a lot of the attacks are coming at the very end, so I am going to put the Golden Frieza at the last slot. I kind of do want to keep him linked up with the Cooler unit, and Turles definitely does have better defense than the Cooler unit, so we'll keep it like that. Looking back on it in hindsight, I probably should have attacked the Gohan unit with the Turles to try and get him to get stunned, but I guess it didn't really matter there since he didn't get stunned. He didn't stun Goku anyhow. So 96,000 damage taken. Cooler's putting out about 756,000 potential-wise. I don't think he's going to be able to super attack for an additional amount. That's the thing about the Cooler unit. He does have the built-in additionals, but it's pretty occasional how often he'll get the additional super attack though. I did go with the 11 and 15 methods, so if I went with 14-12, he might have activated additional supers a little bit more frequently than I've seen in the past. But it is what it is, and looks like the Metacooler unit does have quite good defense at this point, so definitely do want to put him in the first slot and then make sure his attack gets raised for every attack received by the enemy as well. Hopefully not many super attacks come in. Speaking of which, there goes number 1. Yeah, 104,000 in damage taken, so that definitely does hurt a little bit. I didn't bother giving any of these units except for Golden Frieza levels toward evasion. I'd rather go with 14-12 or 11-15 methods. They're more or less meant to hit as hard as much as possible, as frequently as possible, so that's kind of the format I go with that. Those types of units. So at least, it sucked that I wasted super attack with the Great Ape Turles against Goku. Even when he had very little HP, it would have been better if Gohan got stunned and some HP levels got depleted. We're looking at roughly 99,000 in HP remaining, so it is kind of a little bit of a crunch time. Super could easily deplete my team's HP, but we'll see how it goes. Just need to survive this round. That way Cooler's coming up and he'll be able to transform. I'm surprised the Cooler unit right there is able to put out close to 900,000 in terms of potential damage, and he definitely does pretty well. He's a worthwhile unit to invest in potential orbs, so definitely does survive that round luckily. And again, Cooler did transform, so pretty much try and pummel down the the opponents as much as possible within the 2 turns that you have the transformation. Hopefully, we do get at least 2 super attacks guaranteed, so that's fine, and then we'll set it up for the next round. So at least Gohan should be eliminated within this round, and then we'll hope for the Gohan unit or Goten unit to be demolished after that. We'll see what happens though. Yeah, pretty much a done deal. We just need 1 or 2 supers and we should be able to finish off Goten. So overall, this is definitely a pretty fluid team, runs quite well. I've been a fan of this Extreme Agility movie boss category team for quite some time. They're very nice to use and a lot of fun to run, actually. I think the missing slot up until recently was the fact that Agility Meta-Cooler really does help out the team because of the fact that he's got so many built-in functions that help out the rest of the team. So again, this is the Extreme Agility Movie Boss team against Super Battle Road without the use of any items. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll check you guys later.